that's very expensive, both money-wise and energy-wise. And so with recycling, we actually reduce the amount of money that it takes to make a new product, and we conserve large amounts of energy that it takes. For example, one recycled aluminum can save enough energy to operate a TV for 3 hours. Recycling 1 ton of paper saves enough energy to power the average home for 6 months. And so again, these are just little interesting facts, but recycling definitely saves time, money, energy, and that's a benefit. And then, of course, we look at the job market. If you look at this diagram right here, this little graph, you can see that the recycling industry produces many more jobs than the waste management industry. A waste management job would be working at a landfill that we just looked at. A recycling and reuse job would be working in a recycling center, or a manufacturing job where people are actually building things that go to these recycling centers. And so, you know, you can look at all of these, but I wanted you to pay attention to the first two, because you can see that the recycling industry, I'm going to backtrack it, the recycling industry can actually, let's make it this way, sorry, can actually produce, estimates show that the U.S. recycling rate of 75% by 2030 could create about 1 million new jobs. And
we've got yeah, the slides are one behind you. They're not in sync with what you're talking about. So we're seeing the one that says why recycle for conserve energy right now.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Is everybody right now? You see a chart right now? Raise your hand if you see a chart.
I think we all see the charts. We're just seeing one behind you.
I don't see a chart. I see why recycle step 4.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know what you meant by chart. I'm seeking why recycle.
Huh, that's interesting. Because what I'm looking at right now says why recycle, it helps create jobs. You guys see that?
No, it's just the why recycle that slides.
And then it conserves energy. I think the issue is we have a lot of objects in the room, and I think it might be slowing things down. I deleted the IFX in the banquet room, but yeah, the slides have been not keeping up with what you're speaking to. Now there's a chart. Now a bar graph just popped up.
Okay, so do you guys see this bar graph? If you look at this again, then look at the recycling and reuse and the waste management bars. You can see that the recycling industry will supply many more jobs in the future than waste management. And again, the recycling industry is going to be what we're looking at today, and the waste management would be a person that we perhaps see working in one of those landfills that we've talked about. All right, so this is what I wanted you guys to do, a little activity really quick. Do you see a slide that says what can and cannot be recycled? Do you guys all see that? Okay, so this is what I want you guys to do as a team. If you look around the room and all of these little tables right here, there are all sorts of objects. If you look to, hold on a second, my left, there is a table with a big N over it. That stands for no. If you look to my right, there's a table with a big Y over it. That stands for yes. I want you guys as a team to pick up these objects and place them on the table that you think describes them in terms of recycling. Can it be recycled? Can it not be recycled? So go ahead and work together. Take a few minutes. Pick up these objects. You guys can agree or disagree with each other if you want, but you have to make a decision as a team to go ahead and place these objects. I apologize that the slide seemed a little bit off.
All right.
All right. And tell me again, where do we put them if they can be?
If it can be, under the letter Y for yes. If it can't be, under the letter N for no. Just place them on that table.
Food, yes. Lobster? I mean, probably. I don't know what you'd turn a lobster into, but I'm guessing yes. Another phone? I would say yes. Here, you can have this one, Brian.
I need some help here. I have a beautiful decorative dish. What do you guys think?
Ceramic? I would say no, mainly because I don't know how you would do ceramic.
What if you regifted it? Does that count?
Is a regifting
You could
recycling?
break it. Yeah, you could break it and reuse it as art, but I don't know about recycling. I think reusing.
I think this is
I
a
don't
trick
know.
question. I think this is a trick question that Wendy's playing with us. I think
Somebody
they're
dropped
all.
their smartphone.
I think they're
Is
all
there a maybe
recyclable.
table?
No, it's a yes or no. Somebody's smartphone is floating. What do you guys want to do with this one? What do you think? Recyclable
Absolutely.
or not?
Like the only thing I put in the no was the syringe, but
Okay.
now I'm not so sure. I think this might be.
Here, let me grab that for you. I got to share that. Now you should be able to grab that cup.
I don't think the bananas and the strawberries can be recycled. What would you?
I mean, they're
You can-
organic.
Yeah, but they'd be compost, or you could put them in a recipe, but you can't turn them into something else.
Now, keep in mind, guys, what
don't
you're
know.
doing, the recycling that we're going to look at, you are telling me everything on that yes table can be sent to the recycling center that we're going to take a field trip of. And
Oh,
then
no.
be used.
Okay.
And then be used, turn into something else. Maybe I should have specified that. But we're going to go on a field trip in a recycling center. So you're telling me that all of the yeses can be sent to a recycling center. So now that I've specified, maybe you'll change your mind on a few things.
Let's see. Paper cup, soda can. Oh,
So why wouldn't the food be able to be recycled at a recycling center?
well, we haven't gotten the answers yet.
Well, I'll
Yeah.
explain it to you.
Okay.
Like lobster shell, you could probably be some sort of material, but
They definitely make I think phytosan, like fertilizer out of shellfish.
yeah,
But
kind
again, maybe not.
Or like,
Yeah.
but
or
at a
like
recycling center. Yeah.
armor, like lobster armor. I don't know.
Espresso coffee
All right.
glass. Okay.
So what do you think? You done?
That looks good to me.
All
How'd we
right.
do?
Well, let's
don't
kind
think-
of
I don't think
look
this
ahead
one can
here.
be this count.
do you guys see on the PowerPoint now, does it say yes?
Yes.
Okay. So let's look at some of our yeses. Obviously, aluminum, which we're going to focus on a little bit more here. Aluminum can definitely be recycled. It's actually the most recyclable thing that you have in your recycling box. Small glass bottles can be recycled. Sometimes if they're colored glass bottles, they have to be separated first. But small glass bottles can be recycled. It's a lot cheaper to recycle a glass bottle than to try and create new glass from silica itself. Cardboard boxes can definitely be broken down and recycled. If they're too large, there might have to be a special pickup for them. The pizza box, where'd you guys put the pizza box? The pizza box is a little tricky. Pizza boxes can be recycled if you clean them out first. Food is not going to be taken to the recycling center. It just mucks up the machinery. If you are dealing with the, the machinery that's sorting these things, you don't want a bunch of food and grease and oil and that kind of stuff going through the machines. It just kind of dirties it up. So if your pizza box has been fairly cleaned out and there's no chunks of pizza left in it, then you can take that. Cell phones can definitely be recycled. There's usually a special e-waste place where you can recycle tablets and cell phones. Plastic bottles, hopefully you put that on the yes, and definitely paper, napkins, and those sorts of things. Now, on the no, I could not find a plastic bag, but plastic bags typically are not something that Jay wants you to send to the recycling center. A plastic bag is going to get tangled up in the equipment, and it can cause a lot of problems. Plastic bags, a lot of local grocery stores and those sorts of things will take plastic bags and use them for other things. Styrofoam is a big one. That little styrofoam cup over there, little styrofoam coffee cup, styrofoam is not recyclable. It's very, very porous. 95% of it is air, so it's very inefficient to spend money to transport it. It's also really, really hard to clean because it's so porous. And so styrofoam is not accepted. Any medical waste, the syringe, the scalpel, anything like that is considered a biohazard. That is not something that the recycling center will take. Dirty food containers. Again, if your food container is cleaned out and it is glass or plastic,